Noah Lyles' return to Tokyo for the 2025 World Athletics Championships has been a mixture of loss, redemption, and celebration. Noah, although narrowly missing the top podium spot in the 100m, grabbed the highest podium place in the 200m, defeating Tebogo. Behind every achievement, however, there is a foundation of support for the American champ. For Lyles, that foundation is his mother, Keisha Kane Bishop. From his early days in Alexandria, Virginia, to the global stage, Bishop's dedication shaped his path. She sacrificed so much to make sure that we would be able to get that, Lyles said. Keisha stood as a pillar and supported her son through asthma struggles, setbacks, and the long grind of training. Bishop was there for every hospital visit, every night of uncertainty, just to make sure that her son's dreams turned into reality. In Tokyo, Bishop also extended her admiration to the Jamaican athletes who bested her son. "I'm very proud of Jamaica," she said to AFP, praising Seville and Thompson. She added, it's such a tiny island, but they have so much talent and so much pride. And I'm so proud of the guys who got first and second in the 100 with Kishane and Oblique. And I think that Jamaica has overcome so many adversities. They've only been independent since the 1960s, I believe. And just how far they've come, the resiliency, the perseverance, the hard work, I love it." Beyond the track, Bishop shared a personal milestone that intertwined with international athletics. Noah's engagement to Jamaican 400m runner Janelle Bromfield. The couple, dating since 2022, announced their engagement on October 13th with a video showing Lyles proposing beside a lit sign that read, "Will you marry me?" Bishop described this as a significant transition for the family. She then went down memory lane, reminiscing about her best days, having met and married Kevin Lyles after their collegiate track careers. The family's athletic roots run deep. Both Bishop and her husband were track stars at Seton Hall University in 1990s, instilling in their children a natural affinity for the sport. To them, making the Olympics was like getting a driver's license because they have been raised around so many track and field Olympians, she explained. Such a foundation of discipline, commitment, and love for the sport carried Noah through Tokyo 2025, enabling him to recover from disappointment in the 100m and triumph in the 200m. While Noah faced defeat in the 100m, the presence of his mother, the support of his family, and his hard work made him secure the 8th title with the 200m win. And now it is not just the medals that the Lyles family would be celebrating, but also the upcoming D-Day of the duo. And while Noah has always been supported by his mom, he never let go of his partner when she had to stand against unprecedented backlash. Noah Lyles stood by his fiancée amid backlash from Jamaican fans. Noah Lyles made sure to stand firmly beside his girlfriend Janelle Bromfield as she confronted intense scrutiny from her own countrymen ahead of the Paris Olympics. Bromfield became a target of online vitriol. Why? Lyles seemingly revealed details regarding the inner workings of the Jamaican training camp, which were privy to a conversation between him and Bromfield. And it all took flight after Lyles shared insights on a YouTube podcast. Lyles' opinion led some fans to accuse Bromfield of betraying her nation. Lyles addressed the controversy directly, asserting, "The most impressive thing I've seen recently is how she's dealt with the pure disrespect and hatred towards her from her own country. This woman has been attacked by people who have never met her, heard her name before, never seen her smile, or heard what she believes." Bromfield, on the other hand, responded to the backlash with calmness. She even sought divine guidance, sharing a verse from the Bible on her socials. Despite being a bronze medalist in the 4x400-meter relay and proving her commitment to Jamaican athletics, Lyles' insights were enough to fuel the public debate. However, despite every debacle, Lyles' support provided Bromfield a space of reassurance. He publicly praised her perseverance, stating, "I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of my GF and give her the flowers she deserves now." She has been through so much in her life that I could never imagine fighting through. Beyond that, she is a survivor, 2 ex-Olympian, Olympic medalists, multi-world championship medalist, and has been representing Jamaica on the world stage since she was 8 years old. Bromfield, acknowledging Noah's support, wrote, "Thank you, baby, for always supporting long before we even started dating. I love and appreciate you always." This chapter before the Paris Olympics indeed turned out quite stressful for Janelle back then. However, as it appears, the athletes and the track community have now left the chaos behind. Noah Lyles' return to Tokyo for the 2025 World Athletics Championships unfolded as a compact saga of disappointment, resolve, and celebration. The American sprint star experienced the bitter tang of narrowly missing the 100m podium, only to reclaim the moment in the 200m, a discipline in which he once again stood at the very top. Behind those results, vocal and steady, was a figure frequently relegated to the background of headline-making athletic triumphs, his mother, Keisha Kane Bishop. Bishop is more than a proud parent. She is a formative architect of Lyles' career, a relentless presence whose sacrifices and counsel shaped the athlete who now travels the world carrying his country's hopes, and sometimes its controversies. In Tokyo, Bishop's reaction to the championship's unfolding drama was candid, warm, and at times pointed. She praised Jamaican sprinters who beat her son in the 100m while also celebrating the family milestones that have followed Noah's rise. This feature traces the contours of that support, Bishop's influence in Lyles' life, her public words about Jamaican athletes Kishane Thompson and Seville, the engagement to Jamaican 400m runner Janelle Bromfield, and how family, faith, and sport collide on the global stage. From a suburban track in Alexandria, Virginia, to Tokyo's illuminated stadium, Noah Lyles' path to sprinting success has been rooted in routine and care. Bishop, who along with her husband Kevin Lyles enjoyed collegiate track careers in the 1990s, has been described both by family and friends as the steady hand that kept the whole enterprise from wobbling. She accompanied Noah through childhood asthma scares, early training setbacks, and the many small indignities that form a long athlete's apprenticeship. Noah would not be where he is without her, a close family friend told journalists during the Paris Olympic season. Bishop's contribution was not only the practical, long drives to morning practices, early morning breakfasts before school meets, and the painstaking juggling of finances in the early years. It was also psychological, a model of resilience who taught her children to see setbacks as instruction rather than defeat. That sense of perspective is much of what lends Bishop's comments in Tokyo their weight. When she told AFP in the mixed zone that she admired Jamaica's sprinters and their achievements, she did so from a place of humility, but also from a place of measured clarity. "I'm very proud of Jamaica," she said when asked about the sprint results that left her son off the 100m podium. She praised Kishane Thompson and Seville, celebrating the island's enduring ability to produce world-class talent. Bishop's public congratulation of Jamaican athletes was notable precisely because it blended affection with a realist's appraisal. Jamaica's sprinting system, small in population but prodigious in output, has long been a recurring rival, and occasional rival for strained relations for U.S. sprinting. Bishop's comments acknowledge the island's deep reservoir of talent and the cultural pride that fuels it. "You know, it's such a tiny island, but they has so much talent and so much pride," she said, speaking effortlessly about the peculiar alchemy that turns Jamaica into a sprint powerhouse. Bishop's phrasing, unpolished but honest, resonated widely. It was not merely an expression of sportsmanship. It felt like the measured reaction of someone who has watched the sport evolve, who respects tradition, and who has seen firsthand how sport becomes larger than the sum of individual careers. That perspective softened what might otherwise have been a purely competitive reaction. Rather than bitterness, Bishop displayed admiration for the athleticism, for the resilience, and for the historical narrative that sits behind Jamaica's rise on the global stage. Sport runs in the Lyles family's blood. Both Keisha Bishop and her husband Kevin were themselves track athletes at Seton Hall University in 1990s. The couple's experiences on the collegiate circuit provided both a model and a set of networks through which their children could access coaching, mentors, and opportunities. For Noah, the result was an environment in which elite aspirations were normalized. Bishop recalls childhood anecdotes that read like a manual for building competitive athletes: early bedtimes, meticulous attention to diet, and a focus on incremental progress. While each family is different, the Lyles household offered a rare blend of sporting literacy and parental devotion, a combination that can give promising young athletes an outsized advantage. The family's athletic roots also brought with them a culture of expectation. For Noah and his siblings, running was not a hobby, but a practice craft. For Bishop, the decision to support that ambition required sacrifices, financial, emotional, and temporal, that rarely feature in highlight reels, but are fundamental to the exercise of raising champions.